In the heart of Mexico City, the Estadio GNP Seguros transformed into another world on May 9th to 10th, 2026, as BTS continued their ARIRANG World Tour. Thousands of armies from around the world filled every corner of the stadium, carrying flags, light sticks, and a hope beyond words. The air was heavy with anticipation, as if this concert wasn't just a performance, but a historical event being written. As the first musical intro played, all eyes were drawn to one direction. Jungkook emerged with a startling visual transformation: a Western-inspired jacket, a cowboy-style hat, and a more intense gaze than usual. The cheers erupted, but there was something different that night, as if Jungkook brought a wilder, freer, and more unpredictable energy than ever before. As Dynamite began, the transformation was complete. Jungkook moved with captivating confidence, as if the stage were a boundless expanse. His every step triggered a wave of screams that never stopped. Neon lights bounced across the stadium, creating the illusion of a never-ending party, while everyone knew they were witnessing the most charismatic version of the Golden Magne. Midway through the song, the camera captured a small moment that sent the entire stadium into a frenzy: Jungkook's faint smile as he looked out at the sea of armies singing along. It wasn't just a performance, it was a wordless conversation between artist and fan, where the energy of love bounced endlessly between the stage and the audience. But the surprises weren't over yet. As the beat changed and the transition to the next segment began, Jimin emerged with a different aura, gentle yet sharp, controlled yet emotional. His interaction with Jungkook on stage felt like two worlds colliding in perfect harmony, leaving the audience hard to blink. Then Are Bulletproof Pt.2 exploded. The energy was like a hurricane. Taehyung and J-Hope filled the stage with an intensity that shook the stadium, not just physically, but emotionally as well. Every jump, every rap, every movement felt like a statement. They hadn't come to perform, they had come to leave a mark. The cheers were no longer distinguishable from the music. The audience stood on their feet, immersing themselves in the rhythm with every beat. Jimin added an emotional touch to the already powerful choreography, while J-Hope led the charge with an unquenchable fire-like energy. Taehyung, with his unique charisma, made every frame feel like a scene from a movie. Amidst all the beautiful chaos, Jungkook once again stole the show. The way he interacted with the other members felt natural, as if they weren't at a concert, but in a space that belonged solely to the five of them. There were chuckles, fleeting glances, and small moments that felt the most significant to the audience. But beneath the glittering stage, there were moments of silence that went unnoticed. Backstage, several members were seen taking deep breaths, as if harboring deeper emotions than what was displayed on stage. This wasn't just any concert. It was an emotional journey slowly building to a crescendo. Entering day 2, the atmosphere became even more intense. It was as if everyone knew that tonight would be different. The stadium lights grew warmer, and the audience arrived with a mixture of happiness and anticipation, as if awaiting the conclusion of a grand story that was hard to let go of. As the final songs began, Jungkook stood center stage for longer than usual. His movement slowed, his gaze sweeping across the stadium. There was a pause that made time seem to stand still, and in that pause, the entire army felt something was about to happen, something they would never forget. Then came the climactic moment. The music paused, and Jungkook stepped forward. The cheers turned into an expectant silence. Even the giant screen seemed to hold its breath. He seemed to be trying to compose himself before speaking, and it made everything feel more human, more real. With a slightly trembling voice, Jungkook finally addressed the sea of fans before him. His words were simple, yet full of meaning, as if each letter carried the weight of a long journey, endless practice, and a love that never diminished with the passage of time. When he said, "I love you," the stadium erupted. Cries, screams, and hugs erupted everywhere. Even some of the other members looked down, trying to contain their equally powerful emotions. It wasn't just a sentence. It was a confession that bound thousands of hearts in one unrepeatable second. Back home, the millions of armies watching the live broadcast were gripped by the same emotion. Many were speechless, simply staring at the screen with tears in their eyes. The moment felt too real to be a performance, but too magical to be ordinary. As the concert finally drew to a close, many were still reeling from the emotions of the previous performance. The media began to call the night one of the most iconic moments of the ARIRANG tour, not because of the scale of the stage, but because of the depth of emotion that defies logic. And as the final lights went down at the Estadio GNP Seguros, one thing became clear. The night wasn't just about the music or the choreography, but about the relationship that has grown over the years between BTS and their fans. A night where the stage, the emotion, and the love merged into one memory that will never truly end.